And good morning. Good morning. We're at Strong Hips, Back, and Core today. Strong Hips, Back, and Core. That means we are very strongly alignment focused and we're sitting in those hatha positions, playing with those opposites. So let's take a big slug of our water. And I'm doing warm water today. I always do room temperature, but today it's a little warmer. And because the weather is a changing. So let's turn off the phones here, and we're going to use our blocks, a strap, and a blanket. So yeah, here today in our area, it's very overcast. It's a little bit chilly. And so it gets a little funky, a little dark. So we'll focus on lighting up a little bit. Get your props out. And what we call take your seat. So that phrase, take your seat. We've been talking about what seat you enjoy, whether it's Sukhasana, the easy cross-legged position, or whether it's sitting on our ankles in Vajrasana, which is thunderbolt position, or sitting between the ankles with the legs folded back, which is Virasana, hero pose. So easy pose, hero pose, thunderbolt pose. Some folks like the Ardha Padmasana, the half lotus. Just find a position that brings you into right alignment and right balance. And see how you're feeling. How's the breath flowing? I'm turning up this light. We need some light. Okay, so taking the seat here. The first thing we'll do is lean into the moment here, this moment right now. Perhaps you're feeling cloudy on the inside. Just noticing. And what is the emotion that you're feeling predominantly right now? So see if you can come up with a label. Oftentimes we'll say, I feel good, or I feel bad, I feel tired. But what is the emotion? If you had to give yourself an emotion today, is it lethargic, disappointed? Sometimes it even feels numb, anticipatory, calm. So what is that label for yourself? What is the emotion that you're coming to the mat with today? Take about a minute and really, truly lean into it. What is it I'm feeling today? What is this emotion, this vibrating energy inside of me? What would the feeling be labeled as? Take a minute here. And just a suggestion, just an invitation, if it feels right for you, is oftentimes when we have feelings that don't feel great to feel, they're not fun to feel, we try to make ourselves feel better. We try to distract ourselves to feel better. And that's really how our world is set up. But in mindfulness work, we're not trying to do that. We're not trying to make ourselves feel better. We want to be where we are. We want to be in the present moment. So I always think of it like a diving board. So you're standing on that diving board and you're noticing the fear, you're noticing the whatever it is that you're feeling. And you could leave the diving board and go do something else, or you could face that feeling head on. And so that's what we're doing here. That mindfulness work is we're labeling it, I feel this. And the second minute, what we're going to do is we're going to notice where that feeling resides. Like literally, what does the feeling of fear feel like? What does the feeling of lethargy feel like? Do you feel saggy shouldered? Do you feel anxious where your belly is what is this, shaking or quivering? Do you feel disappointed and clenched through the throat? Do you feel tears at the sides of your eyes? Do you feel like an uncomfortable feeling in the neck? So we're not trying to get caught in the story, or we're not trying to tell the narrative. We're just stepping out of it into our witness brain, our observer brain, and we're trying to notice literally when I feel that feeling, it literally feels like what? So we'll take one more minute here. You've labeled the feeling that you feel right now. And how does it feel? If you feel really excited, maybe your heart feels open. Maybe you feel a sense of bursting in the head in a nice positive way. So whatever it is, without getting caught by the reasons that you feel that way, we're just literally trying to notice, what does this feeling feel like? How would you describe it? One more minute, please. Another way to say what I'm saying is we're telling the truth. We're telling the truth. And now dropping your directed mind's attention to your palms, to your hands, no matter where they are, just find stillness and bring all your mind's attention to the way your hands are expressing. Are they palms up? Are they palms down? How much space between each finger? What does it feel like? Does it feel clammy or cool? Does it feel hot and swollen or warm? What is the feelings of your hands today? Do you feel that your hands are alive, pulsating with your beingness? Just feeling and sensing your hands, a part of this living body, fully alive. The thumbs, the pointers, the middles, the rings, the pinkies. all the bones of your hands, the muscles, the tendons of the wrists and arms. Do you feel that aliveness in the hands? You could even wiggle those fingers a little bit to remind yourself that yes, they are indeed awake, alert. And then in the next breath or two, whenever you're ready, pick them up with all that love of that aliveness, all that love. And we're going to take these very magical hands and we're going to place them quite a bit away from our head, but we're going to put them behind us here. So there's quite a bit of space, 3, 4, 5 inches from that loving hand to the back of the skull. And we're going to imagine that they're now powerful magnets, really powerful magnets, and they're pulling out any chatter in the mind that doesn't serve you in this moment. We could say glorious moment. Very slowly start to sweep those hands to the sides of the head by the temples and just keep bringing out any energy that is chattering or dark. Just imagine you're vacuuming up any chatter that doesn't serve you. Start coming around into the front of the face. We're still far away. Coming into the face, feeling all the wrinkles and the tension and the clenched jaw and the shoved up tongue and all that being pulled into the hands. And then bring the hands together and let's empty it all into that wisdom of the heart. And it empties out. We're going to do that 4 more times. Take your time. Open the palms. So much love, so much alive. Take your hands wherever you need it. I'm going to go to the base of my skull by my neck this time. And just imagine that I'm magnetically pulling out anything that's negative or dark or sad. Just giving myself a little bit of a respite here as I clean out that chatter. And the breathing is soft and smooth over by the ears and the jaw. Any tension, just erasing any wrinkles around the eyes and forehead. And then bringing them together and then empty it out like a dustbin in a garbage can. Empty it out into the wisdom of the heart where it will all be resolved. All of it. Okay? And 2 or 3 more rounds, please, on your own. What is it you want to feel today? Ease, grounded, connected, loved, held, hopeful. Just clean it out. If you know Reiki, if you've heard that term Reiki, this is very comparable to what like Reiki is. You're pulling out the energy and emptying it into the heart. Let's go 1 more round. I miss doing Reiki. Your magical hands, right? Your magical hands, and we'll bring the hands into Namaste prayer position. Gently sit up nice and tall. Find your seat. Close your eyes. And what is it you need today? What is it that brought you here today? We can do 2 things. We can look at what we don't want, or we can look at what we do want. And it's so much more fun to look at what we do want. So settling in on an intention, how you want to feel in an hour. And when you have it, gently bring your chin to your chest. Open your eyes, see those beautiful alive hands, and remind yourself of this promise that you're making, and then release the hands. Very nice. So we are going to continue on with our strengthening of the glutes that we started on Monday, because oftentimes our glutes are weak and that hurts the lower back. So in order for us to have a nice, healthy lower back, we want to have a nice tush, right? So bringing our legs into Baddha Konasana, stand up your right leg, and we'll lean that left leg into Baddha Konasana. If you need to put a block underneath here, do so. Sit up nice and tall and do your best to find that length. Some of you might feel that you're more comfortable taking the hands behind the thigh and doing your best to see those lines, those erector spinae, those lines going along the spine, that they're both very long, even though we're in a little bit of a tilt here. So just dragging yourself up, lean back. Take 3 more deep breaths. Just keeping yourself very calm as you're doing breaths. And honoring where you are, honoring where you are. Beautiful. Now we're going to turn towards this left leg. Turn towards this left leg. If getting blocks makes you feel more comfortable here, then feel free to do that. And we're going to keep ourselves turning, belly button looking towards that left knee. And we're going to start to walk out our arms. So we're looking for a downward dog arms. And you're pressing here. Notice that the hip is lifting up on this round. So we are lifting up that right hip, and you're just finding this little bit of a twist. Keep the right big toe plugging in. Keep that knee lifting up towards the sky. Some of you may find that you don't need the blocks, and you're just really deeply twisting. Drop your chin if that feels good to you. And breathe deeply, deeply, deeply into this lower back. Can you aim your heart towards that knee? And beautiful. Come on up here. Come on up. Settle in on that pelvis. And now take your right elbow, hook it on this inner knee, and we're going to turn away from this right knee and start to find a little bit of a twist. How tall can you stand up here? How long can you make your spine? Your Samavriti breathing pattern is on. You got that long inhale, that long exhale. 3 more deep breaths. And beautiful. Beautiful. Gently come on out to center. The center, drop both legs open now. How does this feel for you? Maybe you'll stand up the other leg. Maybe you'll put a block underneath this right leg and just sit up here nice and tall. And just noticing the lower back, right? Here's your pelvis. The pelvis is a little bit up just because we've changed the leg line. And how do you feel that long lower back? Good morning. Good morning. Just welcome yourself here today as you start to study this beautiful, beautiful body. This beautiful body. Okay? Start to turn. Maybe you'll need your blocks. Start to turn here. Again, that hip can come up if it wants to. First, you'll find a down dog action here. Stretch. Keep that big toe plugging in. Some of you will be able to bring your elbows down. 8 deep breaths here. Drop your chin. Seven and 8. Beautiful. Come on up again. Find level pelvis. Hook that outer elbow and that inner knee. And just a little bit of a how do you do twist. We'll go 5 breaths. Double check that knee is standing up. You're not winning. You got elbow and knee pressing firmly into one another. And very, very, very nice. And come back to center. All right, so today is strong hips, back, and core. Some of you are feeling like you need more of a gentle class because you've got health conditions going on or whatever. Honor yourself. Remember, the yoga mat meets you wherever you are, always. All right, take blocks here at the sides of your mat. I'm going to go medium level, but you decide what's best for you. And we're going to interlace we're going to drip our fingers off the blocks here, pressing our wrists right underneath our shoulders. And we're either going to lift our entire hip up, our entire pelvis up, or we won't. And we're just going to hold here for 5 deep breaths. Pretty dynamic on the wrists. Long lower back. 1. And 2. Reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. 3. And 4. And 5. Very nice, very nice. We're going to switch legs, put the other leg in front. We're going to do Sukhasana again. Put the other leg in front here. And again, Tolasana. Tolasana. Some of you can bring your entire pelvis up. Some of you are just faking it. It doesn't really matter which one you're doing. All we're trying to do is get some gravity help here. You could even do some cat-cows Just lengthening out that lower back. Telescope the ribs up, lift the ribs out of the waist. One more deep breath. And very nice. Come on down, come on down. All right, moving over to hands and knees. If you feel like having a blanket underneath your knees is a good idea, which I do, then put the blanket underneath your knees and we'll come into some cat-cow. Go ahead and take the blocks to the front of the mat and we'll stand them up at the highest level, and that will be coming for later. Spread your fingers, equal distance between each and every finger. If your shoulders are bugging you today, it's always an option to take your elbows down for dolphin action, whatever feels best, and just check in. So again, we're specifically thinking about the lower back and the glutes, the sides of the glutes, and then the back or the center of the glutes. So the medius and maximus, and we're moving through these muscle tissues so that we can have a nice opening, even strength, but relaxed at the same time. So we don't want too much weakness and we don't want too much strength. One of the most common places to hold tension is in our glutes, where we're clenched all the time. So you want to find the balance between being relaxed but also being strong. When you're ready, curl your toes under, up we go, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And even more than that is having an imbalance in the glutes, where one side is really clenched up habitually and one side is not. So we're looking for neutrality and we're looking for balance. So you can bend the knees, you can feel that length in the spine. Again, if the shoulders don't like this downward dog today, feel free to take dolphin and make those options for yourself. One more deep breath. And beautiful, bringing your knees down. So decide what you want to do. Again, we're going to be on our wrists for a minute here. So if you want to bring those elbows down, do so. We're going to play with the idea of the push and the pull. Bring your right knee to the right elbow and then push it back. And then in and back. So keeping that knee pointing down. Breathing is calm, remembering your mantra. 6 and 7. You're just studying. 8. Hold that leg up. Put the thigh on a shelf. So notice that the thigh isn't dropping. It's nice and high. Turn the toes onto the kneecap and hamstring. 1 and 2. 3. Nice and even balance in those hands. 4. Keep the thigh up. Make it challenging. 5. 6. 7. Looking for some stability. You can feel that left hip really turning on. And 8. Keep that 90-degree angle. Dip it behind the other knee. Bring the knees to touch and then kick. Again, dip, knees touch, and kick. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful. Curl your toes under. Either bring elbows down for dolphin or back up to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Good. Second side, please. Same thing. Shoot that left leg up and knee to elbow. 1 and 7. 6. Beautiful. Keep that leg up. Keep that thigh up. Turn the toes on and hamstring curls. 8, 7, 6. Keep that thigh up. Try not to let it lower. 4, 3, 2, and bend the knee. Dip it behind the other knee. Knees touch and kick. 7 more. 'And beautiful. Knees down, dolphin or downward dog. Gravity, 5 breaths. 2, and beautiful. Come on down. Come on down. Okay. Sit back into broken toe if that feels nice for you, or just stand on your knees and hold. We can interlace our fingers and just stretch out those shoulders, dipping the right ear to the right shoulder. Just take a little pause here. Off those shoulders, switching ears maybe. Beautiful. And up we go. Downward dog. Get your blanket out of the way. Actually, no, sorry. Fold it over, make it a little bit of a bigger loop, and we're going to step and come up. So our heels are going to be on the blanket. If this feels too intense for you, of course, you'll skip it, okay? So what we're looking for is Ardha Uttanasana, which means we're going to have our body in a 90-degree angle. So double check that you have that action happening. Okay, so my hips are staying right above my knees and my ankles, and my hands are right underneath my shoulders. Okay, shift the weight to the left foot, take your right leg up. We're doing the same thing this time. We're going to bring in, so feel that pull and then that push. Opposite elbow now, switch and up. And 7. Crossover, 7. Pull it in, 6. Push it out, pull it to the other elbow and push. So you can feel that kickstand on the other leg that's really getting that work. So keep that big toe plugging in. So knee to elbow, push it out. Opposite elbow, push it out. 4 more. Same elbow, push it out. Opposite elbow, push it out. 2. Out. Opposite elbow, out. Same elbow, out. Opposite elbow, out. Now hold here. Really feel the big toe plugging in. Both legs are on. Some of you will reach your opposite arm out. So we're right leg up, left arm out. Float your body. Feel that shelf that you're able to rest on in that space. 6, 7, and return that foot and pause. So feeling that kickstand on the left leg, your toes are forward, the knee is forward, the heel is sitting on the blanket. We're going to do the same leg. Same-o. Right leg up. Some of you will take your left arm up. 8 breaths. Some of you will be able to grab that foot and twist. Really find that kickstand. Here we go, 8 breaths. Where is the stability and where is the ease? Two, and drop it down and pause. You could bend the knees in the pause. You could grab opposite elbows in the pause. Just let that lower back have some time to release. Remind yourself of that mantra and why you come to the mat. This gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful, alive body. Blood is pumping. Everything is moving, cleaning out. 2 more breaths. And slowly come all the way back up. Come on back up. How do you do? Fix your clothes. Fix your hair. Get yourself ready. You ready? Okay, here we go. Second round, second leg. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway over, Ardha Uttanasana. Watch those knees, they're facing directly forward. Shift the weight to the right foot and take your left leg up. Find balance in those hands. Here we go. Left knee to left elbow, pull and kick it out, push. Opposite elbow, pull it in and push. 7 more. Left and push and right and push. Watch that kickstand leg. Keep the integrity and push. 3 and push. And 4 and push. And 4 and push. 4 more. 5 and push. 5 and push. 6 and push. 6 and push. 2 more. 7 and push. 7 and push. 8 and push. 8 and push. Holding here. Some of you will bring your opposite arm up. Feel that shelf. Keep plugging in that right big toe. Feel that outer hip. It's helloing us. Seven. And come on down and pause. Heels slightly wider than the toes and hang. See if you can use those exhales to let stuff go. There's a thing right now where you can literally look at how nature benefits from letting things go. Right? You can see the trees letting things go. You can see the changes in the seasons and how clean it is to let stuff go. The fall cleaning of the closets, let stuff go. Just keep letting stuff go. All right, same. Shift your weight to the right foot. Take your left leg up. Those of you working deeper, the right arm up. Some of you can come a little bit more challenging and grab that foot and find a little bit of a twist here. Working even deeper, you could drop your head and get a nice little bonus stretch through the neck if that's what you're needing. Feel that outer right hip. 4. 6. One more big breath. And very, very nice. Come back out, heels on the blanket, a little wider than the toes, and forward fold. We're trying to empty out that lower back. Let it go. If that means bending your knees, feel free to bend the knees. You could grab elbows. You could interlace your fingers, knuckles to the sky. You could do what I'm doing, wrapping the arms around the shins, pulling ourselves down. And then it's the breath work here. It's letting it go. See if you can lengthen out that exhale a little bit more. Two. Beautiful. Get your blocks away here and step back into downward facing dog. We're just going to go into a couple planks here. Push up position. Some of you want to bring your knees down. That's cool to do. And we're going to hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and downward dog. Second round out of 3, holding up here, plug those thumbs in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and downward dog. Third and final round, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, knees down, big toes together without overlapping, and child's pose. All righty. We're going to flip it over. And again, depending upon you and what you're needing today, this is an option. You definitely don't need to do it with blocks. You could do it just on the mat. We're going into bridge pose, okay? But we're going to make it a little bit more challenging by putting our back on blocks. So if you had a bolster, you could be using the bolster as well. So scooching away. And for me, I'm going to roll up my blanket so that my head is a little bit higher. You decide if that's what you want to do. Actually, I'm going to turn my block up. All right. So get comfy. That's what I'm trying to say. Get some comfies going here. Okay. So we're going to take our knees and ankles hip distance apart. We're still thinking about those glutes. We're going to take our palms down. So again, you're maybe flat on the mat. You don't have to have this lift if you don't want to. Your toes and knees are looking directly forward. And here we go. We're going to do 3 rounds of 15. This is some strong work here. All right, pressing into the big toes. Heels are a little bit wider than the toes. We're going to lift up 15 and lower down. And lift up 14 and down. Feel those glutes. Do you feel that one side clenches quicker? See if you can do your best to feel the lift equal and that squeeze. Can you feel that coiling of the spine? 10, 9, 8. So you've got a nice lift here. 7. Imagine that that strap is around the shins. 6. 5. Notice I'm taking my time because I really want to feel, what am I doing in my body? 4. What's firing? What's not firing? And what is the speed in which everything is firing? 2 more. 2. And this time we're going to hold it. So take yourself up, find stability, find relaxation, and hold. So allow the front rib cage to feel dropping down and the glutes firing up. Imagine you're dragging your heels towards your bottom. Keep relaxing the front body and keep dragging those heels towards you. You've got 4 more breaths. Knees are sitting right over those ankles, hip distance apart. 3 and 2. And gently, gently, gently come down. How's your booty? Booty. Good. Okay, so some of you will go deeper on this next round, some of you not. You play with how it is. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. It's dynamic, okay? So just watch for a moment. You're coming up and you're going to do leg lifts. So we call this the bridge march, okay? If the blocks are too much, you can come down off your props. Here we go, 15. This is our second round. We have one more round after this. So we're thinking about those glutes. Here we go. Either do the up and down like we just did for 15, or you're marching. 1, 14, 13, staying up the whole time. Feel those shoulders really pushing down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up there. 1, push both feet down, lift it up, 5 breaths. Relax the front of your body and harness that back body. Hold it up. I said 5 breaths, but I meant 8, sorry. So 6 more breaths. Relax as you work, relax. What are you letting go of? Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the jaw. Relaxing the front of the body. Two more big breaths. And when you're ready, slowly, slowly, slowly come down and pause. You having fun? I hope you're having fun. So what we're doing, are you noticing any difference? Are you noticing any asymmetry? Are you noticing that it's not easy to relax the glutes? Are you noticing it's not easy to strengthen them? What are you noticing here? Remember, we're working with this mindfulness, okay? Not telling stories about it, not judging it, but just witnessing, just observing. So whatever you want to do, you could do pearl necklace up and down for 15 and then hold for 8. You could go back to your bridge march. You could come on the blocks if you haven't been working there. You can come off the props, whatever you want to do. Here we go. Last round. Ready and go. Relax as you work. Relax the shoulders. 7, 2, and when you're ready, push it up, push it up. Relax the jaw, the hinge of the jaw, the shoulders, and holding for 8. Drag those heels towards you, knees away. 2, and gently, 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 gently come down. Let's roll off to the side. If you're on the props, we're going to move them out of our way now and just return to our back. All right, now we're going to stretch it out. So if you want a little bit more of a dynamic stretch, go ahead and take a block underneath your right foot. Bring your left knee in and put it over that other leg, and you could play with this. Remember, keeping the toes on. Another variation is keeping those toes on, bringing both knees into the chest here, using that left elbow to encourage this opening on this left hip. Some of you can extend that right leg and just reach forward and grab the toes. Remember, what we want here is back. So we're getting this really great stretch through the hip, but how can you melt those back muscles? How can you imagine that that tailbone is dropping back to the floor? Holding here. Please double check that your toenails are looking at the kneecap on both legs. How can you melt into this pose? Your mind is telling you to come out, that it hurts, it's so hard, there's this and this and this. That's all mind chatter. And that's the yoga, is to listen to the thought that serves you. So the thought that's like, I'm going to sit in the pose and get to know myself. That's the thought we follow. Hang in there. 8 more breaths. Let go. Very, very nice. Now, watch here. We're going to take our right leg down and we're going to shift our hips to the left just a little bit, and we're going to rock the knees over to the right. Now stand this foot up. This left foot is totally on the ground, and we're just trying to imagine that we're dropping this knee towards the ankles. Some of you, it's nice to grab this block here and push, keeping this big toe plugged in, maybe even holding the ankle. And you're opening the hips, so you could use your right hand and push the thigh open and extend that left arm behind you if you want to. This is a 12 breath hold, whatever you want to do. What we're focusing on again is let go. How are you doing? When it's time for you to bring that other leg up, shift yourself back to the center and bring both knees into the chest here and just hug yourself a moment, maybe rock side to side. Again, aiming that tailbone towards the floor instead of coming off the floor. We're trying to Velcro our deep spine to the floor. All right, let's flip a ruby. Let's take that left leg out. So if you're putting it on the block, do so. Open this external hip on the right, toes turned on, and play there. Some of you can come in, some of you can wrap, some of you can go all the way up and hold. Double check that your toes are looking at the knees. And the job again is to relax the tailbone towards the floor. Let go. I do feel like E.T. when I say that. Phone home. Let go. It's such a good movie. But here we are. We're letting go. Because when we let go, we really do phone home. We go to that center. You see what I did there? See where you're holding. See where you're battling. See where you're resisting. See where you're fighting. Stop it. Just let go. Yoga tells us that beyond the thoughts that we think, beyond the thoughts that we think is our true nature. So that's the welcome home when you go below those chattering thoughts and you just find that place beyond your personality. It's like when you're standing out in a forest or you're watching the ocean, just that bigger sense of yourself. Let go. Okay. Bringing that leg down. We're going to shift the hips over to the right a little bit. Stand that right knee up. Big toes on the ground. The whole foot is on the ground. You could use this block to open you if that feels good. You could reach your right arm up. Again, we're going to hold here and we're going to just watch the little parts of us, body, mind, and spirit, that fight this, that get distracted away from the moment because our mind chatter is in the future, or our mind chatter is in the judgment or the past. Where is the tissues of your body resisting? Where are the muscles of your back fighting the floor? Where can you find sweet surrender? Another 5 breaths. You're like a melty candle, or melting warm syrup. It's that ooey gooiness of us. All the elements that are in nature are in us as well. Wet, dry, crunchy, crispy, soggy, damp, juicy, succulent. What are your elements today? What are your descriptive words? Another 2 breaths. Beautiful. When you're ready, scoop up that knee, shift yourself back to the center line and bring in both knees. Give yourself a big hug. And give yourself another big hug. And then unwrap those knees and find your happy baby. Again, aim that tailbone down to the ground. We want to be feeling like we're on the mat. And if that means you can't bring those knees up as high, that's cool too. Just really plant that Velcro tailbone down. Another 4 breaths. Very nice. So I'm going to offer you my suggestion for Shavasana today, but as always, you are your own teacher, and so you really want to honor where you are. So I'm going to say Supta Baddha Konasana. It's a nice hip opener, and it's a nice lower back tractioner. So we're going to take our strap, and we're going to make a very big loop. Again, this is optional. Depends upon what you're needing. So a very big loop, maybe even a blanket for our neck. So we could take our blanket here and we could take it and have this top layer with a tight little roll. And the roll is going to go at the C7, which is the base. So it's not going underneath the neck. We want the arch of the neck to not have support. We want it to be free. So this roll is going to go at the base, this little bumpy bone at the bottom of your neck. So that's there. And we're going to take ourselves with this over our head, like we're putting on a shirt. Double check that you're going right to the top of the sacrum. That's where it gets really yummy. And then go between the knees, not over the knees, between the knees, and hook your feet. Okay, I'm going to say that again. It goes between the knees instead of around the knees. And then walk this strap down so it's right at the sacrum. And you'll feel that as you pull the feet away, it gives you length down there. So it's really nice. And then those of you who feel like you don't need the blocks, I like to add the blocks just at the very tippy tip because it's a nice way to know that you're being held, but you decide what's best for you on that. And then we're going to scooch ourselves down, 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 and find that roll right underneath the C7. So our neck is free. And then some of you will fold the blanket underneath. So now you have this little bit of a nook for your head because you're being so held. This gorgeous body of yours that works so well. So if this is tweaky on your lower back, you could pull those feet out, see if you can get some more traction. And if it's still tweaky on your back, then I would say close the knees and lean them towards each other. And then go back to dissolving. Go back to letting yourself truly drain out. Get yourself organized, get yourself steady. How do you want to feel? Start leaning into that raft so you can ride that ride. Moving into your stillness now, starting to create what we call the Visamavriti, that uneven breathing rhythm, where your exhale's a little bit longer than the inhale. And so bringing our attention to this idea of fall. Fall, a time of shedding, a time of letting go, a time of deciding what is most important to you, what is most important, and what is unnecessary. So letting go of that which doesn't work, whether it's physical habits, mental chatter, patterning, relationships sometimes, work sometimes. Just allow yourself to open that hand, that alive hand, and let it go. So on our end today, we're going to focus again on those hands, that you that is so alive, so pulsating with life force. I'd love for your last minute or so to be on those hands, the left hand, the right hand, and how alive it is they are. And so are you. Taking these cold, damp, wet months to prepare for the bloom of spring, just like nature. As always, may this work be of benefit to you. Keep your light on, and when it's hard to keep your light on, lean into others who have their lights on, and then they light you up, and then you light them up, and that's how it works. Deep bows to you all, and namaste.